Hi everyone, welcome to On the Other Hand. I'm Ariane Zurcher and we are on lesson number 6 of our variation on a Japanese rice sack, or as I'm calling it, the rock garden embroidered bag. We're on our second shape of our second panel. So it's shape letter E, and we begin with woven picots, 3-spoke woven picots in Aurora thread. I've gone ahead and done those, so I'm not going to show you how to do that. If you need to refer to the woven picot video, it will be posted above. Follow the directions in your instruction booklet, and we will begin stitching together. Okay, so with Mojito Madness, I'm doing 3-spoke woven picots, and I made the tops rounded by not pulling tightly. I kind of want them to stand up, so I'm going to nestle in here some French knots to kind of prop them up. And I'm going to do, I think, a 3-wrap French knot. And I'm using a number 1 Milner's. By doing these 3-wrap French knots at the base, I'm pushing up against the base of the woven picots. I'm creating a kind of barrier that forces them up, and that's what I want. I don't care that this isn't going to really be seen. It is going to be seen a little bit, but more importantly, I'm creating a kind of wall to keep those woven picots from lying down. I don't want them lying down. I want them to be upright. So there we go. Now I think I'm going to do the same on this side because I think it'll look kind of cool. So what I'm doing is I'm going right up into this area where the base of those picots. It's getting kind of dense, so I need my pliers to pull. I'm just going to do a whole bunch of them. All right, so I did a couple of strands of turkey work here with my Mojito Madness. I did my 3-wrap French knots on the back and the front of my picots, and now with my Silk and Pearl Irish Blues and a number 3 Milner's, I'm doing a series of cast-on loops. Okay, that's 16. I'm just going to nestle them all in here. I'm using my sheep silk, periwinkle, and a number 3 Milner's, and I'm just going to put in among this cluster of cast-ons. I'm going to do a few just in here, in and among this cluster. All right, in the burgundy and a buoyant knot needle, I'm going to do some double cast-ons. And so I've done a double, I threaded it with 2 strands. And I think I'm going to go in right here, over on this edge. And I'm going to do some little, almost like a little loop, so very close from where I'm coming out. Where my thread is coming out, I'm going to go back in with my needle. Okay, so there's one. That was with 6 cast-ons on either side, 12 cast-ons total. I'm going to do a number of these, just kind of somewhat random, but I think in a cluster. I'm thinking like a rock garden, where you have a bed with some rocks and then flowers of different kinds throughout. That's what I've been thinking on this whole group here for this piece. I'm going to do 5 on this one, see how that looks. So that's my little 3. And now I'm going to do some French knots. With my seagrass Stewart's Gold and a number 3 Milner's, I'm doing a couple of 3-wrap French knots right here. I'm making them pretty loose. So I've done my seagrass. I did some little 3-wrap French knots here and my beaded drizzles here, a cluster of them. I'm going to do a couple of little turkey work right here. This is in my Aurora olive branch. I'm going to keep it somewhat short. Okay, so there's my turkey work in the olive branch, and I'm just going to clip these. And now I'm going to do just a few. I'm going to switch my needle out into a Milner's, number 1 Milner's, or actually I'll do a bullion knot. It's easier to thread. And I'm going to do a whole bunch of colonial knots right here. I'm going to keep them pretty loose. Then I'm going to do some more little strands of turkey work in here. These I'm not going to clip, I'm just going to leave them as loops. I'm not going to do very many, just a few. I'm just going to leave those loose. So it's turkey work without cutting the loops. And I kept them pretty small. So I'm going for a whole variety of different heights. I mean, that's really textures, heights. And now I think I'm going to leave this alone, but I'll do something right here on this outer edge. And that'll be it for this shape. So with my Silk and Pearl Irish Blues, I'm just doing a little cluster here of 8 to 12 wrap bullion knots. So I'm just doing with my Aurora Old Lace some random 2-wrap French knots in and around this cluster of buoyant knots. That's that. So that's the end of our lesson number 6. We'll be moving on to our next shape, shape F. Don't forget to hit that like button, click on the subscribe button, leave me comments. I always love hearing from you. Tell me where you are in your process of this bag. How's it going? Until next time, here's to stitching together.